Something that some might say is working is Uber. And then that might seem like a really narrow topic. I won't try to do it justice just right now, but Aaron Perlett has an op-ed on KMOX's website that talks about this being a larger issue than just whether or not you ever get in an Uber car and take a ride. Is that provincial? Is that what's going on? Is that speak to a larger issue? The issue of to catch folks up in case they don't know, the Metropolitan Taxi Commission is not allowing Uber as of right now to operate in the city. This is an app-based car service. They come pick you up. It's in the private car.
You know, I think this is a critical issue for so many reasons. I think the entire controversy surrounding Uber underscores a real problem with St. Louis bureaucracy and why people perceive it to be a city where you can't do cool things and get things done. And that's because why should we, out of 160 or so cities that have Uber operating, why should we be a lone holdout and try to layer up regulations that, you know, make it difficult for them to operate here that they don't have to adhere to in any other cities? I think there are two exceptions. One of them is New York City, which is a whole different thing. From a perception standpoint, it's really image suicide to disallow Uber or to resist Uber and make us think about it. I really do think that whether you use it or not, it is the future of urban mobility in American cities.
Is it that one of the taxi commissioners called it white privilege to be worried about, he himself is a white man, to be worried about, so maybe there's a whole other level of there. But do people who are concerned about the issues of Ferguson and fixing those issues, are they also concerned about things like Uber?
No.
And that's not fair to ask you to speak for the entire region.
It's not fair, and what it speaks to is the mindset when you're trying to do something different and innovative in St. Louis, and the barriers that we come up against these types of things regionally, that the business community and the political players will put up every single wall and throw a brick at you when you're trying to do something new. So whether that is in a business, whether that is you're trying to break down walls of discrimination, this is what it speaks to me. So no, I haven't really had many conversations with people who are concerned about Uber, because many people can't even afford to take a cab. We're trying to fight for regular public transportation to get people just from one side of Little Ferguson to the other, trying to get kids to a community center where there is no public transportation at all. Uber is not on the list of things, but it speaks to the barriers that are presented by the political and the corporate leaders here of not speaking out or looking the other way when innovation like this is on the table.
We have 1 minute left. Okay. I can feel you wanting to jump in.
Well, I just wanted, I'm more ambivalent about Uber. I think it does represent this idea of, are we open to new ideas, the new technology, and can we facilitate it? On the other hand, I was a taxi driver in New York City, and unfortunately Uber, what it does is it undermines wages for drivers, right? So it's great in a way because it's highly responsive. On the other hand, I support this idea that we have to have some regulations, and we need to make sure that wages are maintained and that we don't just create all these informal economic jobs that I think just drive down wages. So I'm deeply ambivalent about it. But I understand where the concern is about innovation and being open to new things.